I've got nothing to do but hang around and get screwed up on old Conor McGregor open workout videos. Something everyone would appreciate about Conor McGregor open workouts is where a lot of people just had a little tiny flaw about for 10 minutes. He would pretty much put full workouts in. I'm Cage Warriors lightweight champion George Hardwick, and we're going to break down some of his pad work footage with Owen Roddy, incredible looking padman there, before his fight with Nate Diaz, the rematch with Nate Diaz, where he put a lot more of specific adjustments and specific strategies in play for this fight. So without further ado, let's have a quick looky in. So let's see what first combination he's throwing. A jab, a left hook into another jab. So against another fighter of the same stance, open stance where he's fighting an orthodox, left straight fits down the pipe really well. Still fits down the pipe really well against another southpaw. But sometimes when they're high guard, you might want to hook around just to clear that lead forearm. Something he used really well in the first Dustin Poirier fight. Dustin Poirier would get that lead forearm in. Before Dustin Poirier developed the hillbilly shoulder roll, you get that lead forearm in the way in a classic high guard block. But then Conor McGregor sussed it out within a minute and then threw that left hook around to the temple. So he's using, let's see what combination he's using here. Cross, block, and then he's rolling onto the left side. Because Nate Diaz being another southpaw, he throws that check hook loads, something Nate Diaz was doing. And as well, rolling to the left against an orthodox fighter can be a risky maneuver because you are circling low into their power side, their power knee, their power kick. Against a southpaw who generally doesn't use their lead leg that much, it's much safer. There he's using the back kick. Something Conor McGregor did with the back kick again, fighting someone in the same stance, southpaw, that left back kick is going to line up a lot better than it would do against an orthodox fight, opposite stance fight. But Conor McGregor, throughout his career, he did use that even against someone of opposite stance. Like he came out against Diego Brandao, bit at the hand fight, Brandao's hand reaches out and then his liver gets exposed. Not his liver, I think it's his spleen on the other side. And then he hit that quick back kick. Anyway, back to what he's doing here. Using that same combination, jab, hook, over the shoulder, then mixing a jab in with a slightly delayed timing. It just gives the opponent that chance to see, okay, maybe he's open after that hook, I'll step in, and then the jab interrupts him. A lot of purists might be quite concerned about all the cross-stepping. It's more of like a relaxed workout rhythm, but Conor McGregor just uses cross-step to disguise his crosses and disguise that cross-step into the spinning back kick. There's like an intercepting elbow and high guarding there against the slapping. Again, because he was trying to fight a taller opponent, generally, as you fight taller opponents, your hand placement goes a little bit higher. Not always the case, but it tends to happen. You fight a taller opponent, you bring your hands up higher towards your temple because they're going to be punching down at you. When you're fighting shorter opponents, a lot of the time it's more about defending with the shoulders, hitting some quick shoe shines, double jabbing and pivoting out, and then hitting that back kick as Owen Roddy circles towards it, and a spin kick to the head. Some nice Eddie Gordo capoeira bullshit. Hitting that jab again with that slight lean onto his lead leg. I think it was Jack Slack thinking that potentially he developed a bit of that lean, which got accentuated into his later fight onto that lead leg to keep his hips back because he fought so many wrestlers. There he's going back kick again. A little circle around again. It's an open workout. He was up at welterweight, probably full of calories. Really nice close spinning back kick. And he's using that roll again under the check hook. Probably prepared for Diaz to spam check hooks and check slaps. The open 5-fingered Rick James slap to the face. A little bit of in and out. Jab, pull back, 1-2. Boom, pull back, 1-2. See how his back foot is turned slightly more towards his opponent. Almost like he's turning his big toe towards his padman to land a solid shot. He's not pulling back with his back toe facing way out doing Frankenstein foot. A little bit of slipping away. Kind of reminiscent a little bit of this relaxed footwork that he does end up doing in the third and fourth round, where he's getting a bit gassed. Doesn't need to keep his stance because Nate Diaz's ring craft wasn't the best. Someone like Matt Brown would have made it a much more dangerous fight there. But again, a little bit of shoe shine and then a hook into a roll, 1-2 back kick. Nice flashy combinations for the camera here. He did use that mea lua or back kick with the hand down, like wheel kick with the hand down in the first fight, but he would have to cover a lot of distance to get to Diaz's head with that, and possibly the hand down capoeira version sacrifices distance rather than extending it the way like a taekwondo bend on the standing leg and then extend it out to cover a little bit of extra distance when throwing the kick. Some straight blasts in the punches. Straight blast, that's no pun intended. Into a back kick, into a wheel kick. Some flashy cinema there. And another back kick. Just getting some more boxing combinations here. I might have to skip through a lot of straight punches. Into rolls. You know, that slip towards the open side of the other southpaw. Sometimes when you slip, you just add that roll in to recover your stance. If you feel you've slipped way outside of your leg, you might want to use that roll to get back to your stance. 1, 2, pull 2 again. See how his big toe is pointing towards all the power in the universe, all the power in the universe of your body comes through the big toe. So as he pulls back, his big toe is pointed towards what he wants to wham with a big left hand. Another water break, because I imagine it was hot as shit. Let's skip through this nonsense. And have a swig of a Marks & Spencer's Empress Grey in the meantime. Gets the tats out. Tats with an A. More skipping. And then we'll see more of his boxing work, more of his mixing into kicks. Again, that left hook coming around the shoulder, then closing the door with the jab. Again, a hook off the backhand, you're going to really open your stance up there. Possibly not what you want to finish on. So coming back with the jab is a really good idea. We'd often see Brandon Moreno fling his right overhand. There'd be a pause and he'd just sting a left jab through the middle. Or sometimes a left up elbow if the opponent got really, really antsy and wanted to step in on it. There's that little... Can tell Conor McGregor was a big fan of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Doing that cross step side to side. Putting in a little play. Probably being more playful in this open workout than he would be in the closed doors workout. Keeping everything secret. Using this little high guard here. 1, 2, pulling away. 1, 2, look at that back foot. Really turned in. And he's circling off. Pivot and... It's like a roll and a pivot. Not just rolling and staying there where he could get locked up. Roll and then pivoting to recover the stance. Back kick again. Into this male lure type back kick and another back kick. Lots of spins that he generally didn't use as much in the second fight because it's not very energy efficient for a 5-round fight. And a lot of the time, you do just do a lot more damage with a very simple Chizoku ball of the foot kick just under the elbow, which takes nowhere near as much energy. You open yourself up way less, and that was probably the strike that allowed him to win the fight when he hurt Diaz with that ball of the foot kick in round 4, I believe. Little side to side, mixing in these spins and other attacks with his cross step, drilling that same combination again. Jab, hook, like hook off the backside, delay, then another jab. A little bit of side-to-side footwork, circling away into a scissor knee. Scissor knee, probably a really difficult one to land on someone as tall as Diaz was. Back kick again, but disguising it with the cross step. There's just the simple kick there. The best kick of McGregor's arsenal throughout his career. It wasn't all the spins and the switches. It was that left snap kick into the belly. And he'd hit that against people, whatever the stance was. He'd fit it in under the elbow. And again, the threat of the left straight was probably so humongous. Everyone's flinching their hand up, scared about that left straight to the head, that their elbows are always peeking up and he can fit that through. Again, the left hook combination, jab, left hook, delayed jab, getting used to him throwing that left straight back and using a little lean. You could probably get away with that lean a bit more. He wasn't fighting like a crazy high kicker. And there's that slip into roll. If you overslip, slip outside your knees, that roll can get you back into stance. And again, he's training for someone who was spamming the check hooks. A lot of the similar combinations here. I don't know if we're going to run out of material. Probably call it a day after another sip of Empress Grey. Earl Grey is just bergamot. Empress Grey has more citrusy notes into it, if you wondered the difference of that. Same combinations. Jab, pull back, 1, 2, and then rolling out under the right hook. A lot of getting him to throw the left hand and then getting him to throw the right hook back, because he started to get caught with that, but it was still an issue later into his career. You know, Dustin Poirier would go first and third. He would hit the jab, lean back, as McGregor would be really eager for his counter left hand, and then he would hit that check right hook. The shot that really hurt McGregor in the second fight, and was kind of the beginning to the end, alongside the calf kick. Okay, we got no more different combinations. I think we'll call this a day. There was a nice little side-to-side shimmy into that. Switch kick. The switch kick was probably one of the better fancy kicks of McGregor's arsenal. The wheel kick was a really good one, because if people got outside his lead shoulder, because his stance was quite bladed, especially in his early days, it'd be really difficult for him to open up with the right hook wide enough to cut someone off. So he'd just spin when people got outside his lead shoulder. I think it was a Bellator fight when Harry fought Nathan Rose on the same card. There was Fabian Edwards versus, I think the guy's second name was Shipman. I think, but I don't want to get that wrong. Anyway, this Shipman fella just circled away from Fabian Edwards, and because Fabian Edwards was quite bladed, but didn't have a spinning back kick or a spinning wheel kick in his arsenal, the fight got so boring because he was just chasing him down with a left straight, but the left straight couldn't land because he was circling away from it. McGregor developed those like wheel kicks, back kicks, just to close the door on his opponent if they got outside his lead shoulder, and it's a very dangerous way to close the door on them. But in terms of effectiveness of his fancy kicks, his flim-flam kicks, as Robin Black might call it, it was probably that switch kick into left straight was one of his best, because he would just step down immediately and ping left straights of it like he did. Pretty sure he does it loads in the Max Holloway fight. Little side to side, kind of like Eddie Alvarez, but just with some slippy head movement and weaves on it. And then the little jog away, practicing the jog that he did in the fight. It was an effective jog. You know, you don't have to stand there 2 inches away from Nate Diaz. Probably not a good idea. Anyway, I've been sipping on an Earl Grey from a Bailey's cup. Have a good day, everyone.